Good morning, all of you. Let us today talk about Newton's law of motion. Sir Isaac Newton, born in Woolsthorpe, England on January 4, 1643. This extremely talented person doesn't need any introduction. While working, he came up with three basic laws. That is, he formulated three fundamental laws that govern the motion of objects. These three laws are known as Newton's law of motion. We shall discuss these laws of motion one by one and learn some of their important applications. So let us first talk about Newton's first law of motion, which is also known as law of inertia. This law states that there is a natural tendency of all objects to keep on doing whatever they are doing. Like if an object is at rest, it wants to remain at rest, and if the object is in motion, it wants to remain in motion. Now, according to Newton's first law of motion, a body continues to be in a state of rest or in a state of uniform motion unless some external unbalanced force is applied on the body. This means that force applied on a body alone can change its state of rest or state of uniform motion. And this is what we find in our daily life. A book lying on a table continues to lie there only till someone removes it. A table, a chair, sofa, bed, pen, etc. continue to lie where they are unless we apply a force to move them. Now, from the Newton's first law of motion, it is clear that a body is unable to change its state of rest or motion by itself, which means that all objects resist a change in their state, or we can say that the objects oppose the force that try to change their state. This property is called inertia. So, inertia of a body is the inability of the body to change by itself its state of rest or state of uniform motion. Or we can say that inertia is the natural tendency of an object to resist any change in its state of motion. Thus, Newton's first law of motion defines inertia, and it is rightly called the law of inertia. So, it means if an object is at rest, it prefers to stay at rest, and if the object is in motion, it prefers to stay in motion unless or until some kind of external unbalanced force is applied on that. Now the question is, does all objects have the same inertia? So the answer will be no, all objects do not have the same inertia. Heavier objects have more tendency to resist change in their state. That is, greater the mass, greater is its inertia. So from here we can conclude that inertia of a body is directly proportional to the mass of the body. Larger the mass, greater is the inertia. For example, you can think like that if you want to push an empty box, it will be easier for you to push an empty box. But if somebody told you to push a box full of books, so it will become quite difficult for you to push that, because the box full of books has larger mass, and therefore because of larger mass it will have greater inertia as compared to the empty box. So I hope Newton's first law of motion and inertia is clear to you. In the next video, we will talk about the three types of inertia. Thank you.